Today teach you to crochet a 3-dimensional rose bag. It is made up of 18 roses. When crocheting, one line is used. No suture required. Use grain mill cotton. Single strand. Crochet. The crochet hook is a 4.0 mm crochet hook. I use Big Red. Take a look at the upper body effect. Can be worn on the shoulder or crossbody. If you need to cross over, shoulder straps can be lengthened. Its capacity is also good. Small everyday items can be put away. Let's crochet. First teach you how to crochet a single rose. The stitch is made by wrapping 2 loops on the fingers. Then remove the ring. Thread the crochet into the loop. Bring out a coil. Then crochet another stitch. This way the stitching link is fixed. Continue to crochet 2 braid stitches. 1, 2, crochet winding. Thread into the needle ring. Bring out a coil. There are now 3 loops on the crochet. The crochet loop is pulled first through the first 2 coil loops. Then pull the last 2 coils. This is a long needle hook. Inside the first braid corresponding to the top of the long stitch. Buckle a mark buckle. This is the first stitch of the first lap. Let me show you how to crochet a long needle. Thread the crochet thread into the loop and take out a loop. The crochet loop is pulled through the first 2 loops first. Crochet and then pull the last 2 loops. This way the second long stitch is crocheted. It is all hooked in the needle loop. Knit 11 long needles. 2 long needles have now been crocheted. Keep hooking. Just knit 9 long needles. "11 long needles in total. After hooking, you can count. 3 standing pins do not count from the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Pull the hook long needle to the right. You can see the opening. 2 line segments and 1 line end. Pull this thread inside. Then pull this line segment outside. At this point, the needle ring has shrunk. Thread the crochet back into the loop. And mark buckle position. Crochet a pin. How to crochet needles. Put in the marker stitch and take out a loop. Pull this coil directly into the previous coil. This is to hook a pin. Each lap should be ended with a pulling pin. Then crochet 3 braid stitches. Open the hook long needle like this, and you can see. It's a pillar by a pillar. One or 2 from the second post and the third. Enter the large gap in the middle of the column. Bring out a coil. There are now 2 loops on the hook. The crochet loop pulls through both loops at once. This is a short stitch. Repeat crochet 1 or 2. 3. Tick these 3 braid stitches. Jump over 2 pillars. 1 or 2 between the second and third pillars. Crochet a short stitch in the large gap. Repeat purchase. A total of 6 times. After and first stitch. Crochet a puller needle to connect. In these 6 holes, crochet petals. Crochet hook into the first hole. Crochet a short stitch. The first stitch is crocheted. Mark it with a marker button. Then continue to crochet into the first big hole. Crochet a medium length needle. Bring out a coil. There are now 3 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet winder pull through these 3 loops at once. This is a medium length needle. Then crochet. Continue through the first big hole. Bring out a coil. Crochet a long needle. The difference between a long needle and a medium long needle is that the 2 threads are drawn first. Pull 2 more wires so that its length is increasing. Continue in this hole. Crochet a medium length needle. A short needle. The height of this side is decreasing. This will form a petal shape. 1 petal is done. Straight to the second power crochet. Second petal. Crochet a short stitch first. A long needle. A long needle. Then crochet a medium length needle. A short needle. According to this rule, tick the rest. 4 petals. After all 6 petals are knitted, and mark buckle position, crochet a pull needle end. Fourth lap. Between every 2 petals of this, there will be such a pillar. A pillar is to pick this pillar, told on the back. Flip over to its back. Avoid this hole. This animal sticks. From this hole. Turn out. Crochet hook to pull the thread out. Take it out now. There are 2 threads on the crochet. Crochet winding, drag out 2 loops on a crochet hook at a time. Form a short stitch. Short stitch. This short stitch is the first small braid formed. Here is a marker button to mark each first stitch of a circle. It has to be crocheted with the last stitch for drawing and pulling needles. If you can't find it, just mark it with a marker button. Then crochet 1, 2, 3, 4. Crochet 4 braid stitches. Crochet. The next bead is at this position. Penetrate this position. Wear out. From the back is provoke this pillar. Raise this pillar from the back. Bring out a coil. There are 2 loops on the hook. Crochet winding, drag out 2 loops on a crochet hook at a time. Crochet a short stitch. Crochet a short stitch at the post. Keep crocheting. 2, 3, 4 braid needles. Then go to the next pillar. The crochet hook goes through here. Pierce the other side. Pick up this pillar. To purchase briefly. Follow this method. Crochet 6 times in total. After crocheting 6 times, can be flipped to the back. Can count. A total of 6 holes are formed. Then crochet a pull needle with the first needle to finish. Then crochet hook through the first loop in front. Inside this big hole. Start crocheting petals. First crochet a short stitch. A long needle. 3 long needles. A long needle. A short needle. Such a petal is hooked to the second hole. Crochet a short stitch. A long needle. 3 long needles. A long needle. A short needle. That's enough for the second petal. Follow the same flower method to finish all the petals. After 6 petals are crocheted, and the first stitch, crochet a pin connection. Third petal. Needle from the back. Out of this hole. Get out of this hole. At the back. Tune him this pillar. Bring a line here. 2 loops on a crochet hook. Crochet all the way around the thread to crochet a short stitch. Then crochet 1 2 3 4 5 crochet 5 braid stitches. From this Dong Chun entry. This post from this Dong Chun to find his poo. Crochet a short stitch. Then hook out 1 2 3 4 5 braided stitches. Thread on top of the next column. Hook into a short stitch. Then crochet into repeat crochet. Knit this loop. 6 6. And the position of the first needle. By 1. Eyes wide open. Then start crocheting the third row of petals. Above this dotted line. First take a short stitch. Crochet a medium length needle. Then crochet 5 long needles. Three, 4. After crocheting, keep hooking. Knit a medium length needle. A short needle. 1 petal is enough. To the second petal. Restrictions are the same. The purchase limit is a short needle. A long needle. 5 long needles. Is N. East down. A short needle. This is how the second petal is woven. On a few petals. Buy it according to the same rules. After the 6th petal is told. And the first stitch. Crochet a pin. Then. High fidelity. Or through this pressure on the back of the back. This pressure goes out and brings out a thread to adjust the column. Crochet short needle. It's all a short shot at the end. Then go on the hook for 12. Check out the 2 braid needles. On the back. One of the back this petals to the center. The braid is a column long pin. On the back of the column, it's just to stir up the 2 lines in the back, and you'll be able to. Do not expose the signs in front of them. 10 million do not reveal a trace of the signs. Just pick up the 2 threads on the back and hook up. the one in which the and went on to cover the 2 braids. Then pick up this column in front of the front. Arrange a short pin for a short time. Hook up with these 2 braid needles. Then comes to the right center of the petals. Number 2. The positive center of the petals from the pair of cores on the back. The beads of the petals are on top of the 2 lines. The line that comes out of the tune is out. It's also not good to tune the wire around the wire. 2 or 1, and you'll be able to pick it up and fix it when you pick it up. It has a fixed role to play. Then there's the 2 braid needles. Come to the inside of the pillar of the front. A short pin for a short time. Repeat the hook for the hook. Take this ring of the hook to the end. The end in the first needle hook to the end of a drawing pin. In the first hole of the hole in the first hole. Hook up the hook for a short pin. A long needle in a medium long shot. A long pin for a long shot. In this way half the petals are bought and finished. Then go on hooking up a braid pin connection. Crochet wire winding hooks for a long pin. A long needle in a medium long shot. A short pin, so that the other half of the leaf of the petals. As soon as the acquisition was finished, then go through the next hole in the next. The eyes are hooked up to a short pin. A long needle in a medium long shot. A long pin for a long shot. A braid in a pin connection. Then came the next hole in the next one. The inside hooks up with a long pin. A long needle in a medium long shot. A short dress for a short time. In this way a piece of petal. And it's the end of the hook. Tick the rest of the petals according to the same method. After all the petals are hooked up to the end. And the first needle to hook up a pull-out pin connection. And then hook up with a standing ovation. Cut the line and cut the line. The line head pulls out of such a rose flower. It's just finished. Followed by the acquisition of a second rosary according to the same method. The second piece of roses takes the last lap, and don't hook up first. Just hooking up to the end of this line of dotted lines is fine. The main first piece, this, rose flower. It's the one that ticked it off completely. Because the back is all about needing a side connection and hooking up. Just by hooking up the last lap of the petals. And connect them all together. Then take a look at how the back is connected. First into the first drive to power. Hook up the hook for a short pin. A long needle in a medium long shot. A long pin for a long shot. A braid needle connects the crochet wire to the second hole. Hook up a long pin for a long shot. A long needle in a medium long shot. A short pin for a short time. In this way a piece of petal. It was just the end of the hook. Then came to the next hole in the first place. Hook up the hook for a short pin. A medium and long dedicated. A long pin for a long shot. You then follow the normal hook for a braid pin connection. Hook the other half of the leaf for the other. Just hook up on the side of the normal hook. It's normal to be inside the next hole. Hook up a long pin for a long shot. Your corresponding connection to this piece of flowers is more beautiful. There's no connection over where it's going to be. This is a piece of petals. Here's where it's in the middle of the braid needle. This one is the needle, that corresponds to the long needle. This one is a long shot. The crochet needle penetrates into the needle of the long needle to hook up this short pin connected by a short pin connection. It's up to the tight end of the hook. To prevent it, there will be gaps in it. Then there's the hook for the crochet. Continue to tell a mid-length pin on this one. Wear it to the other side of the petals. The next one in the eye, the next one. It is the position where it constitutes the medium-long needle. Wear a medium-length needle that goes in and out of the side. Hook up with a short pin connection. Turn back to the side to hook up a short pin. When it's actually hooked, it's still going according to the law. A long needle, short needle, and a long needle of the crochet. It is the need in the corresponding needle mother on the side. And the side short is aimed at hooking up a short pin by the needle mother. Connect a little bit more. A good connection. After the connection is good. Now it's the connection that's good for half the petals. That is to continue to have to connect with half the petal again. This side has come to the side. This side is again the first half of the other petal. Just hook up with a short pin in the first place. A short pin normal hook for a short pin. And a short shot at this side of the face. It's a connection. Keep on informing one of the medium long needle and the medium long needle corresponding to the front of the front to build a short pin connection. On this side, check out a long pin again. The corresponding and positive hook out of a long pin. The connection. After the connection is good, the acquisition of a braid needle for a long time. This position is, well connected. It's just as good to be connected. It's just 2.5 slices of it. The leaves of the 2 halves of the piece. The leaves of the 2 halves of the piece go to the connection. The rest of the position. It's just how to tick off the hook. There's no need to go for a connection. The back is the hook for a long shot. It's the hook for the other half of the leaf. A long pin for a long shot. A long needle in a medium long shot. A short pin for a short time. A short pin for a short time. Come on a long shot in the middle of a long march. A braid pin for a long shot. In this way the connection is good. The rest of the, it's just normal to go and acquire it. After the final connection, the end of the, and the first needle to hook up a pull-out pin connection. Cut the line and cut the line. Pull out of the line head. So that the 2 flowers are connected for the better. Then follow the method in accordance with this method. The first row of a total of 8 roses, are connected to each other. Because the front is a 4-to-1. The back side is a 4-1. To form a circle. The last piece of it might need to be. The left and right sides are connected separately. Make it up to make up a closed ring. After the first lap, the hook was finished. Hook the second lap of the hook. The flowers in the second circle and the first circle are staggered. The third circle and the second circle are also staggered. According to the law, a total of 3 circles of flowers were acquired.